On this Eldad Amara, and this is my channel Eyes Wide Shut. Listen, yesterday, Keir Starmer made a big announcement that's going to be affecting so many people, right, here in the UK. He's talking about bringing in digital ID cards. Digital ID. Now, I've been talking about this for the longest time in videos, and some people been looking at me like to say, man, there's more important things to be talking about. So why are you talking about digital ID cards? Digital ID cards could be your next form of imprisonment. I've been talking about digital ID cards as well as smart cities, yeah, in quite a few videos. Now, smart cities, digital ID cards, digital currency, this is all part of the agenda of WEF, right, which is the World Economic Forum, as well as the UN, which is the United Nations. They want to bring in the digital ID cards. They want to bring in digital health certificates. They want to bring in smart cities. They want to bring in digital currency. They want to bring in all of the smart technology. By 2030, they want the Great Reset. The person who's the head of WEF, Klaus Schwab, yeah, and the rest of his cronies, they want to bring in this digitalized currency. Thank you all of you here for joining us today. And can I take this early opportunity to thank all of those who work behind the scenes. Yeah, we know what's going on behind the scenes, don't we? To bring this event together and to allow us this opportunity to discuss. So thank you very much to them. Now, this is a gathering of people bound by a common cause, the patriotic renewal of our nations that is underpinned by the values of dignity and respect, equality and fairness. When he talks about our nations, he's not just talking about Britain, yeah, or the UK. He's talking about all of the world's nations joining together under this one world government, under this one world system, okay? This is Agenda 2030, right? So the whole world comes under one government, okay? You have to read between the lines. So when he's talking about our nations, he's chatting about the world under one government, okay? He's not just talking about the UK. That is underpinned by the values of dignity and respect, equality and fairness, and the belief that social democratic means are the best way to pursue that goal. And I'm saying this in part. But it is also a room that gets paid to a story we often hear in the press these days, that somehow our politics is dying out. Yes, your politics is dying out. You don't want to admit it, but your politics is dying out. Look how much people in the UK right now have been up in arms about so many things. You've got school teachers, you've got nurses, you've got doctors, you've got railway workers, right? And they've been up in arms, yeah, about pay conditions, yeah, and about how inflation is rising much more quickly than wages and the conditions that some people have to work in as well. There's been so many numerous different protests and strikes, and I say what as well, people like Keir Starmer and the WEF have been taking advantage of all this, and this thing about the boat people, yeah, and immigration. It's all a set up. Trust what I'm telling you, it was all a set up. All of this was planned from a long time ago, okay? And they knew that people got protests about immigration, about these boat people as well. Yeah. So this took this just one step forward in these ID cards, because that's part of the agenda for 2030. All right. And they want us locked up in these smart cities, and people just ain't catching on. The more we go out and strike and the more protests, they're going to take that to their advantage. And that's not like I'm saying that people shouldn't go out and protest. That's up to you. But know that they're using these protests and these strikes and all that to their advantage. And this immigration thing and these boat people, that was something planned. It had to have been. I'll tell you why. Because somebody higher up, much higher up than the government, and had to have the money, the finance to back all of this, yeah, to back boats, to get people on these boats and coming over to various different countries, yeah, such as the UK, France, Italy, and that. It was planned from people much higher up, right, for this to happen. And they knew that British people go out and protest about this. Wake up, open your eyes. Can't you see this? Yeah? And they want us to live in these smart cities as well. 2020 was just a trial. It was a trial. And people ain't catching on to it. It was a trial. They got standing 6 feet apart from each other, wearing masks over our face, right? Bringing in, what's it called again? The QR code, yeah? So they're tracking your movements everywhere you go, and they're putting up the 5G towers, right? They got surveillance cameras watching people day and night, yeah? You go to your supermarket, you go to your petrol stations, you go to your airports, and you got these cameras there, right, watching you all the time. And it's not just watching, it's taking your biometric measurements, looking at your eyes, scanning your eyes, the way that you walk, yeah, your gaits and all the rest of it. Why do they need all this technology? Why are they watching the population as though they can't, as though they don't trust the general public? Let me read on. So he talks about politics dying out. Yes, it is dying out. Because people are just getting fed up of all the deceit and all the lies. And let me tell you this now, another thing. A bird cannot fly with just one wing. A bird requires 2 wings to be able to fly. So when you got Labour and Conservative parties and another party in between the two, might be Liberal Party, listen, they're all the same thing. They've been created by the same people. They just come from opposite ends, yeah? But they're the same people that's running the show. So it don't matter whether you're left or whether you're right, whether you're conservative or whether you're liberal or Labour. A bird cannot fly with just one wing. You get groups of people over here voting, and you get groups of people over there voting, and then eventually you want to try and amalgamate the two together, right? To amalgamate the two together. And this is what their intention is. Right. We do need to know who is in our country. Our immigration systems does need to be fair. If we went to maintain that binding contract that our politics is built on, otherwise it undermines trust, undermines people's faith that we're on their side. Believe that the state can and will work for them. And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital mandatory for the right to work by the end of this parliament. By the end of this parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It is as simple as that. It is as simple as that. So where's the democracy in this? Where is the democracy in this? I don't see any democracy. This is a dictatorship. They're actually telling you what they're going to do, right? They're not taking into account what other people think. You know what? After Starmer announced this thing, you want to see the amount of people that started petitioning online. I think it's almost up to 2 million just in the space of a day or day and a half. 2 million people already, and it's going to rise. Yeah? So they're sending a petition to the House of Commons, I believe. And guess what? Also, on the 18th of next month, the 18th of October, there's going to be a massive march, protest in London. This will probably end up again being in the favor of those people. I'm talking about people like Keir Starmer, the WEF, and the UN, because they want to tighten up the laws, give them even more reason to try and bring in digital ID. But somehow we have to push back or just accept their system, right? So when he says, let me spell that out, you will not be able to work in United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It is as simple as that. That's a definite dictatorship, isn't it? Yeah, dictatorial. Anyway, because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them, right? Around them. And of course, the truth is we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes looking upstream to tackle poverty, conflict, climate change. Yeah, I had to bring that one in there. Issues that aren't just intolerable for those of us who care about inequality and injustice wherever it's found in the world. Wherever it's found in the world. Right? This is going to be a worldwide phenomenon. They want the whole world, right, to be carrying around digital IDs so that they can keep an eye on them. And guess what? Along with this digital ID, just like in China, you know what they can do? They can stop your money, right? Take money out your bank account without your consent. In China, they got this thing called social credit system. You get awarded good points, yeah, for doing something good, which the government likes. And if you do something bad, the government can take those points away from you. So say, food, for example, if you do something bad, they might decide to take away a certain amount of your food away from you or limit your amount of shopping that you can do by limiting the amount of money you can spend in a shop. So you go online and you say something bad against the government, they might take away certain points away from you. Or like a guy in China who was jaywalking. By the time he crossed from one side of the road to the other, they had all these surveillance cameras watching him, which is obviously linked to his bank account. By the time he got to the other side of the road, they're taking money out of his account. That's the kind of system I'm talking about, right? The social credit system. If that comes into effect along with digital currency, yeah, I'll tell you what, you might as well just kiss goodbye to the baby. What some of the people have been saying about Keir Starmer, okay? It's on YouTube. So YouTube, if you want to pull down this video, know this. This is not what I'm saying. This is what the general public is saying. These are a few comments. You can't work without an NI number. How's that going to work? Right? You can't work without an NI number, which is a national insurance number. How's that working? Right? And this person got 44 likes. Another quote. But normal people have been working legally and paying tax. He's really a piece of work. That person got 32 likes. How about digital ID for illegal immigrants and for people who break the law and repeat offenders, rape gangs, pedophiles, etc., and leave the rest of us legal, law-abiding, working, tax-paying people alone? Another person quoted here was said, I totally despise this despicable excuse for a human being. He is destroying Britain, right? And appears to hate its people. He certainly has no respect for British patriots or for the fairness or justice for veterans, children, or our flag. There's another one here. Patriotism, dignity, and respect. Oh, democracy. We value our freedom. We will not accept a dictatorship. That person got 35 likes. Starmer, you're not listening to the people. You're just following what the UN and WEF want you to do. Yeah? You're just following their agenda. This Agenda 2030. We're starting to live in this really repressive state. This really repressive state. And start thinking about your kids and their future. Let me also say something. Tony Blair tried to bring in these ID cards, right? But that got refused by people. Do you know that Tony Blair is a member of the Fabian Society? Do you also know that Keir Starmer is also a member of the Fabian Society? Go and check them out. This is not a good group, people. Go check out George Orwell, who wrote 1984. He was also part of, yes, the Fabians, a Brave New World. Yeah? And his name was something Huxley. Aldous Huxley, that's it. Aldous Huxley, A Brave New World. He was also a Fabian. Most of the Labour leaders, yeah, prime ministers, should I say, have been parts of this Fabian Society. Go check them out. Go check out the Fabian Society. Anyway, this is Eldad Amara with another video. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please share this video on as many platforms that you own as you can and try and get this video out to people. Thank you. Eldad Amara.